So I'm again going for the lexicographic preferences over here. So I was discussing this three of the bundles together, and the consumer can choose, this bundle first option because they do not want to compromise this X1. And for that, they also desire more of Y. Here they have a less of Y. So the consumer would not choose it. Okay. The consumer would choose this because this consumer desire X also, and this consumer desire more of Y also. So this is actually the monotonicity and also the convexity when the consumer is talking about it. Okay, so both goods they desire more. So it means X they don't want to compromise, 4 is okay for him, and also the Y they want to get more. So that is why these two are more here than this particular bundle. But see here, in this particular basket Z, the consumer is getting, the Y more, but X is less. So at the first preference, consumer do not want to compromise with this X. So that's why the consumer would like to opt this bundle, particularly X. So what is actually this consumer is doing? Consumer is comparing all three ingredients X1, X2, and X3, also with the Y1, Y2, and Y3, and also with the Z1, Z2, and Z3. So that is basically a consumer's desire. Okay, now we'll be talking about the next. Now we have a question. If a consumer has lexicographic preferences, what does his indifference set to X to look like? The implication is we still don't have well-behaved preferences. We need additional axiom for it. Now, what is the reason behind it? The reason is if the all consumer would choose this basket 422, then what happens? Then the situation would be critical. Then this is not giving you the well-behaved preferences in that case. Even there will be no selling and buying in the economy, because if all people would be choosing this, then there will be no choices and the no different baskets would be available in the economy. So that is why the well-behaved preferences actually required something else too. And what is that? The reflexivity, transitivity, and completeness, all these three, and together we need continuity. And what is continuity? And to understand that, I will go back to this indifference curve. Now see, what happens actually when we reveal our choices for the action buy. When the consumer would choose this particular bundle, okay, then it means there we have more of Y and the less of X. Now let's say the consumer is coming down and choosing more of X, but they have to compromise this bit of Y. Now at the same time, there is some continuity when you are moving towards N, or one extreme to the other extreme, or from this extreme to the other extreme. Now to understand this, you can even get a function of law of demand. The X is a function of price. Okay, it means whenever the prices would increase, then the X would be declining. So that is the same case. Whenever the X would be increasing, the Y would be declining. So this is a continuity, which is a feature over here. It means the concept of opportunity cost or the marginal rate of substitution is behind that particular concept. So it means if a consumer is revealing more choices of X, then it means they have to reduce Y. So this is the same thing we have started in case of lexicographic. So if consumer would like to choose more of X, then they have to reduce this Y. And the Y they desire more, so that is why from 1 to 2 they want to choose it. But in any case, they don't want to reduce this X. So they are not choosing this particular bundle of Z. But this is also following the concept of continuity, or we can say the marginal rate of substitution, which is very important in this case. Now, what is the major result? If a consumer preferences over bundle satisfy the four axioms, then there exists a utility function. Utility is a function of X such that X is revealed preferred on Y. So utility of X is better than the utility of Y. So this utility function would be a continuous function, which is important in this case to understand the preferences. Now I will come to the non-satiation. The property of local non-satiation of a consumer preferences states that for any bundle of goods, there is always another bundle of goods arbitrarily close that is preferred to it. Now, if I say the one bundle is close to the other bundle arbitrarily, when it is the case, we call it the assumption of local non-satiation, which implies the monotonicity of preferences, but not vice versa. And it is a weaker condition. The weaker condition, why? Because let me explain with this particular diagram. Now see, there is a difference between these two. The local non-satiation, when we have here with this indifference curve, this is a thin indifference curve. And if I take a thick indifference curve, then the picture would be different. Now, what is this difference over here? We have, first of all, the one bundle here, second bundle here, third bundle here, fourth bundle here, so on. Now, this bundle, because we have a thick indifference curve, this is lying on somewhere here, and this is another bundle. Now, if you calculate the gap between these two bundles, they are not arbitrarily close to each other. It means I can clearly say that this bundle is revealed preferred more choices than this particular bundle. It means the local non-satiation assumption is not fulfilled in this particular case of thick indifference curve. The thick indifference curve is not the property of the indifference curve. The reason, because this is not following a well-behaved preferences, this is not following the monotonicity, this is also not following, the more desire or the non-satiation assumption of a consumer. So that is why we cannot say the both are having the similar utilities, because it is a thick indifference curve and the thick indifference curve has the gaps between each other. But here, because it is a thin indifference curve, and if there is another bundle, suppose here, and also these two, they are showing similar level of utilities. So we can consider this under the assumption of a local non-satiation this. Okay. So local non-satiation says what? A consumer, when desires more, that follows a convexity, that follows a monotonicity. In that situation, the consumer is always following a non-satiation situation. And in another words, in layman words, there is no saturation point, like Marshallian analysis of a law of demand or a marginal utility. When the marginal utility is going to the negative, crossing the point of zero, this shows that the consumer is arriving on a 0 point, which is what a saturation point. But in the indifference curve case, the non-satiation is always there. It means the consumer is not arriving on the zero position. Now, to understand this particular situation, we'll go to this case. When we say actually the another definition of the indifference curve, that is the both goods are good. Okay. It means the commodity X which you are choosing, that you also want to increase, the commodity Y you want to choose, that you also want to increase. It means when both of the goods are increasing in your consumption bundle, or you desire more, like X you desire more, Y you desire more, it means both commodities are good. And when both are good, the shape of indifference curve would be like this. Similarly, bad and good. If commodity Y is bad, so it means you don't desire to increase it more, you desire to reduce it. And the commodity X is good, so you desire to increase it. Then the shape of indifference curve would be like this. And similarly, if the consumption of Y you would like to reduce because it is a bad good, and this consumption of X commodity you would like to reduce because it is also the bad good. The bad good you can consider like pollution, garbages. Okay, so these are the bad goods of the society which you want to reduce. So if you want to reduce, then it will be converted automatically in the good. So if it is being reduced, then your shape of indifference curve would be like this. Similarly, here the commodity Y is good. If I can consider this is a textile, but at the same time this is raising the pollution in the society, in the economy. So you want to reduce pollution, but you want to increase the production of this textile. So based on this, your shape of indifference curve would be like this. So now what is happening? We actually have a 4 different coordinates, and then we are framing this indifference curve, making the indifference curve. So the indifference curve like this, here, here, when both goods are good, here the one is bad, one is good. Here we have one is bad, both are the bads, and here one is bad and the one is good. So all the sides, when the indifference curve is moving in this direction, the higher level of indifference curve show the higher level of satisfaction, and you're reaching to this particularly bliss point. So this bliss point actually is not realistic in the case of indifference curve. So that is why the consumer is actually always a non-satiated one. How it is a non-satiated? You see, if there is a one indifference curve, the MRS is declining, okay, but sudden the MRS is increasing again, and then MRS is like this, and similarly you are again coming back to, so your MRS is fluctuating, and that is why the consumer is not arriving at the non-satiation point.